Well, up next is a look at Action TV. A considerable number of farmers who were unable to cultivate their paddy fields in the Yalla season due to water not being released from the Madhuroya were able to have some hope today about cultivating their land in the coming Maha season. This is because the first lease of water for the Maha season was released from the Madhuroya this morning. This water was released 9 days later than the agreed date at the season meeting by the Mahavali officials. Yesterday, Action TV revealed that the farmers are complaining about this delay to the Mahavali B Zone office of the Sri Lanka Mahavali Authority. Though the paddy fields that come under the country's largest irrigation project are due to receive water from the start of each season of harvesting, the advice that the farmers of the Mahavali B Zone received from the authority is to use rainwater to make the initial groundwork for harvesting. Action TV revealed that accordingly certain farmers did not stop at making the ground but had also started planting saplings. If the farmers were able to do this much work in their paddy fields depending solely on rainwater, it proves that the area had received a considerable amount of rain and that there is a considerable amount of water stored in the Madhuroya as well.
Thanks
to Action TV, we now have Mahavali water. It is not enough as we only receive about 50 to 55%, but we farmers hope to cultivate anyway.
Though the first lease of water was released today, certain hamlets did not receive enough water. The farmers of the Bandanagala hamlet built this anicut with the hope of at least storing extra water that flows from other paddy fields. The farmers also charge that although the first lease of water is released, it is a third party that is benefiting more from it than the paddy fields that belong to the residents of hamlets.
They said to cultivate with rainwater and promised us more water later. Now the paddy fields have dried up and the farmers are helpless, but they have given water to all the other projects except us.
When the residents of hamlets in the Mahavali B Zone, whose sole livelihood is paddy farming, receive water in a systematized and a fair manner, Action TV will keep a close watch. The 2012 Lambda examinations, speaking verse and prose presentation ceremony was held in Colombo yesterday. Incidentally, this is the first presentation ceremony being organized by the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art, or Lambda, in Sri Lanka. The event was made colourful by a number of performances by students who had won awards through the Lambda examinations. The event was also graced by Dr. Harsha Alas, the Lambda examinations Sri Lanka representative.
Professor Dumbledore is a very great wizard, Potter.
So it tosses its head and nods and grants.
UNP Western Provincial Councillor Harshana Rajakarna spoke on the country's education sector during an event held today.
මේ ආණ්ඩුව බිහි කරන්න ආචාර්යවරු මාචාර්යවරු තමයි මූලිකත්වයේ ගත්තේ.
It was the teachers and professors who took the lead in electing this government. Now they are protesting against the policies of the same government. There is no proper method of enrolling a student to school. They cannot conduct a general examination or prepare a question paper. You can't enter universities as well. The education sector has fallen into a deep precipice.
විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයකට යන්න බෑ. විශාල අර්බුදයකට තමයි අද අධ්‍යාපන ශාස්ත්‍රයම වැටලා තියෙන්නේ.
A meeting was held in the Dompe area to set up the UNP's Retired Teachers Association under the auspices of Western Provincial Councillor Harshana Rajakaruna.
A woman died after contracting dengue in the Modra area in Panadura.
The deceased has been identified as 36-year-old Tushari Sarojini, a mother of two. Her remains are currently lying at a residence in the Veragama area in Vadua. The victim was 8 months pregnant at the time of her demise. According to her relative, Sarojini, who contracted the disease, was admitted to hospital nearly 3 days ago.
Time to take a look at sports news this evening. New Zealand skipper Ross Taylor scored his 8th Test century to power his team to a formidable score on the first day of the second Test against Sri Lanka at P-3 Oval in Colombo today.
Winning the toss, New Zealand elected to take first lease of the wicket.
The New Zealand opening pair struggled against the Sri Lankan bowling as both Martin Guptill and Brendan McCullum were dismissed for single figures. Kane Williamson and skipper Ross Taylor then put on a third wickets partnership of 203 runs, which saw Williamson scoring 95 runs, which included 8 boundaries.
Half century's got a start in this test match. They're liking that in the dressing room.
With 10 boundaries down the ground, Ross Taylor played a captain's innings, scoring 119 of 241 balls.
And fabulous start as captain and number 3 in 2000.
Ron Kulasekara and Shaminda Eranga claimed 1 wicket each.
Good comfortable catch, one man.
The Kiwis were 223 for the loss of 2 wickets when play was stopped due to bad weather.
Jammed inside edge first. One of those ones where it's
Member of the committee which was appointed to look into the granting of broadcasting rights to cricket matches to Carlton Sports Network, attorney at law Panduka Kirthinanda states that the report will be released next week. This is the 5th stage of a special segment titled Logard Report.
The third key issue addressed in the Logard report is the weak financial position of Sri Lanka cricket. The report states that budgetary constraints are preventing or curtailing strategic and operational plans, which will eventually impact on standards and growth of the game. The Logard report further states that the current allocations of funds is neither optimal nor sustainable.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ක්‍රිකට් විෂය තුල මූල්‍ය අර්බුදයක් ඇතුනේ තරඟාවලි වලින් ලැබෙන ආදායම අඩු.
I do not think the financial losses incurred by Sri Lanka cricket is due to the lack of income generated by tournaments. Main reason for this is the implementation of big-scale projects which are based on visions of certain people. Meanwhile, the broadcasting rights have been granted to Carlton Sports Network at a rate as minimal as 125 million. If this procedure was accurate, SLC should have generated a large sum of money. What Mr. Logard should have done is to cancel these agreements and let the SLC overcome this loss. The intellectuals of this country also said the same, but Logard, who receives a higher wage, has not pointed this out in his report. This is the question I have.
කරන්න තිබුණේ මේ යූසුම් ඔක්කොම නවත්තලා මේවෙන් වෙච්ච අලාභය ක්‍රිකට් ආයතනයේ රාජ්‍ය කරගන්න කියන එක විතරයි. නමුත් අතිවිශාල මුදලක් ගත්ත ලෝගාඩ් මහත්තයා මේ කරුණ තමුන්ගේ වාර්තාවේ ඇතුළත් කළා නැහැ.
When Sports First questioned the treasurer of Sri Lanka Cricket, Nuski Mohammed, as to why Sri Lanka Cricket has not reconsidered the broadcasting agreement based on the Logard report, he stated that it is hard to look into the matter after tenders have been called. However, attorney at law Panduka Kirthinanda, who is a member of the committee appointed by the Minister of Sports in order to look into the matter, pointed out that even though a large sum of money has been received by Sri Lanka Cricket, there is no accuracy in the process. When will Sri Lanka Cricket implement a long-term, accurate policy in granting sponsorship and broadcasting rights according to the Logard report?
The Sri Lanka Academy team won the Gaman Disanayaka 2020 Challenge Trophy yesterday.
The finals of the Challenge Trophy took place at the R. Premadasa Stadium between Sri Lanka Academy team and India Conference team. Players under the age of 17 were vying for the Gamini Disanayaka Challenge Trophy. Winning the toss and electing to bat first, Sri Lanka Academy team's Romesh Nalleperuma gave a comfortable start by contributing 24 runs. Vagesh Madhushankar scored 39. Ganesh Akash was the pick of the bowlers for the India Conference team, ending with figures 3 for 20. Sri Lanka Academy team put up a total of 148 for the loss of 4 wickets in their allotted 20 overs. In reply, the India Conference team were only able to reach 96 for the loss of 8 in their 20 overs, handing the Sri Lanka Academy team a 52-run victory. The Man of the Match award was presented to Romesh Nalleperuma.
Well, that's a wrap from the News First team for tonight. Do log on to our website, that's www.newsfirst.lk for the very latest. I'm Arundhati Mudanayaka. Thank you very much for joining us. Good night.